All right, what's up, folks? Welcome to Foreign and Domestic. It is good to be here. Good to see people popping up in the side chat. I was just talking with Alan here in the back. We will have the camera back up here soon. I am doing a lot better, folks, feeling better, and we're going to be back on camera here shortly. I just got to rearrange some stuff around the house and get all that squared away, but we'll be back on camera. It's good to see everyone in the side chat popping in there with us. Hopefully, we'll get some more guests jumping in. But with that being said, Alan, will you please start us off right, brother?
Absolutely.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. How you doing, man?
Oh man, typical me. I was lots of hours last week, but the weather went completely nutty on us. Typical Iowa. So we were in the 20s and snowing. There was a little bit of snow on Thursday and Friday, and then by Friday afternoon it was warm. Yesterday it got to almost 90 degrees, and then it's back down into the 60s today. It did give me a chance to get out and finally do a little bit of wrenching on that on my car. Didn't go my way. Didn't go my way at all. My scanner's telling me one thing, and so tear half of the engine, half the driver's side of the engine apart to replace the crank position sensor, put it all back together, and now it's giving me something. Now my scanner's giving me something completely different. So basically, an 8-hour shop job just basically kicked me in the keister, and yep, the car still cranked, no start. I'm not happy.
It's always tough when you start getting into cars and you start throwing in the scanners, and we hope that they're telling us the right thing, and sometimes they don't. and it can be a major problem. I just helped my landlord yesterday work on a car. We were doing some stuff with lower ball joints and all that. We got that part fixed. And then on his wife's car, she had an overheating issue coming home on Friday. And instead of stopping, she just continued to drive home, even though it was overheating. So anyway, we're looking at it, and we're like, it's empty. There's nothing in here, man. There's zero freaking coolant. Like, what the hell? Anyway, he put the scanner on there, and the scanner was saying that it was like 3 different things. And then he was working on it this morning, and basically one of the sensors was saying that one of the sensors was bad for what the level was. So he replaced that, and it was I think he said it took him like 4 or 5 hours just to replace that sensor. It was something stupid. It should have been an easy thing, but it wasn't an easy thing. And then filled everything back up and seems to be good. He drove it over here earlier today and it seemed to be fine. So,
well, when I bought this particular car, I wanted something that I can work on, and I'm halfway proficient with some of today's modern sensors and so forth. And I do have good scanning tools and whatnot. And this particular issue wholeheartedly pointed at a timing issue, and then because I was getting misfires in different cylinders, and then it literally gave me not a code on the dash, mind you, only in the scanner, a crank position sensor. Well, to replace the crank position sensor in this particular vehicle, you have to tear the air box out. You got to take the intake off. You got to take the throttle body out. You got to take the power steering reservoir out of it, all kinds of miscellaneous things. And in order to just get to the dang thing, which it is what it is. Threw it all back together. And now the scanner's telling me it has to do with a fuel pump issue. I can activate the fuel pump from the scanner and it activates. So you can hear it turn on every time you go to hit the button. You can hear it prime every time you hit the button. The fuel pump's operating. So I would much rather work on something out of the 70s. They're just so much more simple.
You're kind of like me. You prefer to drive a stick. And for reference, people, what he is driving is stick. So yeah, we prefer to drive manual cars, or a manual truck. Like I have a manual truck. Much prefer that. Easier to work on, typically easier to deal with. But in this situation, you're running into some issues where the scanner's telling you one thing and then telling you another thing. Yeah. And if you buy a different scanner, that scanner's probably going to tell you something else too. And that's, it's what do you do? You're kind of in that catch-22 of where you go next.
Yeah, Vanessa Kitty with the 67 Impala. Yeah, you go to work on the engine on that and you climb into the engine bay. Just have a seat on the fender. Vehicles used to actually be so much easier to work on. Nowadays they've totally made vehicles to be completely and utterly disposable. And I don't like that. Some machines, I think, end up developing characters and having some kind of, I dare say, a soul. I don't have one, but some machines can, I guess.
Yeah, no, I think that's true, man. There are some cars back, like, my old Jeep. I had an old Jeep. It was either a 92 or 96. I forget. I think it's a 92. Old Jeep Cherokee, straight six. That thing was a beast. Straight up beast. It had almost 300,000 miles on it and ran like a fucking champ. And the only reason I ended up getting rid of it is because I drove it for 24 hours straight and basically killed it. Not my intent, but yeah.
No,
it wasn't even the engine. The engine was good. The engine was solid as a rock. That's how I sold it. I sold it for the engine and nothing else. It was the undercarriage that was fucked.
Yeah, the original Jeep Cherokee that I bought was a 91, and I tried to kill that engine. And it took everything that I would throw at it, until I made it suck in a bunch of water, and then it put a softball sized hole through the side of the block. Well, totally my fault. That thing would have just ran forever. It had like 250,000 miles on it, and it wasn't skipping a beat at all. Those straight sixes are hard to kill.
They're phenomenal, man. Absolutely phenomenal. Edward's not wrong. He says nowadays even the mechanics at dealers don't know how to work on them, and they don't. They really don't. I took my truck in, not this particular truck, but the one I had prior. I took it in. I let them know I had a noise that just it seemed unusually loud. And when I first took it in, the lady's like, "Well, there's a diagnostic fee," and I'm like, "The hell there is." She's like, "No, there's a diagnostic fee." I'm like, "Bitch, I paid for the extended fucking warranty. There ain't no fucking fee. Like, I paid you a shit ton more money. There's no fee. No." She's like, "Well, we'll see when they go out there." I'm like, we'll see when they go out there. Like, there's no fee. Like, I literally paid you a buttload more money, so I don't have to pay you more money. And the guy goes out there and he's looking at it, and he's like, everything seems okay. He's like, I'm not. I really don't know. I mean, everything seems like it's functioning the way it's supposed to. And I was like, all right. So, I laughed and kept driving it, and I didn't have any issues with it. It was just really fucking loud. And supposedly that's just how these trucks run. They're just loud. And it's the fuel pump. The fuel pump is so freaking loud. I don't know why, but it is. Even on this one I have now, this one, same thing. I can hear the fuel pump, and it's loud. It's weird, but hey, I mean, the trucks run and they just run, dude. But yeah, it's crazy because the thing is just loud as hell. And it's just like
so that's been my battle this weekend, and well, I can't say that I came out triumphant. It is what it is.
So what's the plan going forward?
Well, in all actuality, one of the only things that I can really do is throw a new fuel pump and a fuel regulator in it, and it's I've got those parts. I've bought a bunch of extra parts for this car just because I could, and I had the availability, so I bought a bunch of extra parts knowing sooner or later this is going to go, sooner or later that's going to go. That plus when I bought the car, as you know, all what I was doing was just refreshing the car, doing some minor modifications here and there, but refreshing it. And
Right.
one of the things that I did find is when I took out the intake manifold, I found a mouse nest about yay big up underneath the intake manifold right on the back of the starter. Just a blob of crap.
Yeah.
Where that came from, couldn't tell you. How long it's been there, couldn't tell you. But nothing in the engine base chewed up or anything. So it couldn't have been too fresh. But been other than that, been working and being a slave to the system.
No, and I understand that one, man. Last year, me and the landlord went out to fire up the riding mower and tried to crank it over, wouldn't go. We're like, what the hell? And I pulled the hood off, and I shit you not, I probably pulled out about 2.5 feet of insulation. And it was from fucking mice. The mice had gone from the house to the shed and taken a fucking roll of insulation that was sitting in the shed and fucking built themselves a house in my mower. And it was probably a good solid 2.5 feet or more of insulation. I'm not even joking. It was insane. Pulled that all out, got that cleaned up, sprayed some starter fluid, and the thing fired right up. But yeah, it's just crazy, man. Mice will get everywhere. So will squirrels. One of the first cars I owned when I first moved to the States was an old Chevy. And I think I'd been here maybe a month or two And I picked up that Chevy, and I go out to start it up so I can go to the job I'm going to, and it won't start. And don't know why, right? Get out, walk around the back, crawl underneath, and a bunch of wires hanging out, and there's a fucking dead squirrel just laying there. Motherfucker chewed all my fucking wires up.
Well, yeah, all the insulation material that they wrap around wires, it's all made out of vegetable based items. And so that's why mice and rats and everything like to chew up wires.
Yeah.
Expecting that.
Dorzax is out there, and he's saying about funny how they don't have a button that says, or a thing that says, that flashes, says take it to the dealership. Alan's kind of like me, and I think Rob is too, where I don't want to go to anywhere. I want to fix it myself if I can. I've been wrenching on stuff since over 30 years. If I can fix it, I'm going to fix it myself. I don't want to take it to someone. I had this discussion with someone a few weeks back. Actually, it was almost kind of an argument. Because they're someone who they're trying to penny pinch and do this and do that, but they would rather take their car somewhere and have someone else do the oil change instead of do the oil change themselves. And I'm like, why? You're fucking penny pinching. Do the shit yourself. It ain't hard. And they just kept making excuse after excuse, and I'm like, I'm done talking to you. I'm not gonna sit here and do this. Like, no, it's not hard. Do it yourself. Get out there and work on your cars, man. Is it getting harder and harder because they're making it harder and harder on purpose? Yes, it is. But I still say get out there and work on your own shit. Don't let someone else touch you, man. You don't know what these people are doing. You have no.
Well, yeah, that's a big thing about when you're working on it yourself. You know exactly what happened, how it came apart, how it went back together. You know exactly what, when, where, how, why. And so I don't even just letting somebody else work on my vehicle that I know, that I trust, that I like. I don't even like doing that, because I want to be the one that knows knows exactly how it went back together, how I did it. I've been wrenching on things since before I was 10. And yes, they have made things a lot more difficult to work on purpose, so that you have to take it back to them. Oh yeah, I void warranties, Fuzzy. I void warranties right out of the box a lot of the times.
Yeah, here's the thing, man. Fuck their warranty, because their warranty is bullshit anyway. 90% of the time, they're not even going to honor it. They'll sit there and make some fucking excuse. That's what they do. So, yeah, you got to go work on your own stuff. Don't get berated into taking it to some place. You don't know what these people are doing. It's been it's probably been 10 or 11, maybe even 12 years since the last time I actually took a truck to somewhere to get an oil change. And when I took it in, I said, I want this specific oil. And the guy goes, oh, we don't have that. We'll just use this. And I'm like, the fuck you will. And they're like, no, that's what we're going to use. I'm like, no, you won't. I'm taking my truck and I'm leaving. Don't ever let them tell you they're going to do this or do that. You make sure you know what's going in your vehicle, and you walk away knowing what's in your vehicle, period.
Well, Thorzax, yeah, that really blows. That sucks bad. you know, because that's how we develop those finite motor skills on being able to feel and touch things and turn nuts where you can't see them and you're upside down, you got oil dripping on your forehead, you got all these other distractions, and you're still able to do these finite things. Man, that sucks. I feel for you, man.
Yeah, no, and I get it. Dave, my hands freeze up here and there. You know, it's getting more and more the older I get, but nowhere near as bad as you. But they do freeze up here and there, and when they lock up, it's bad. But yeah, hang in there, brother.
Now, I will say there's a couple of, in the job that I was doing this weekend, there's a couple of bolts that you just can't really even hardly see unless, you know, you're a specialized contortionist and you've got light in the right place and, you know, the wind is blowing out of the east. And trying to get those in and out, my eyes started bugging so bad that I had to stop and take a break. I could not even see anymore. I guess I'm getting that age.
You know, it's funny. So I went over to do the oil change and all that, and helped my landlord work on his car yesterday, and he goes to break the nut on my truck, and he's like, "Dude, I can't get this to frickin' go." He's like, "Who the fuck tightened this?" I'm like, "I did." He's like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "Dude, you know me. I fucking tighten shit. When I make it tight, it's fucking tight. I don't fuck around. I make sure that shit's tight." And he was down there for probably fucking 5, 6, 7 minutes almost trying to break that fucker loose, and then he finally got it loose. He's like, "Don't fucking do that again." I'm like, "Dude, you know me. I always tighten shit. Tight, tight, tight."
Yeah, Vanessa Kitty, optics are your friend, and yeah, there's a reason why I've got dots on pretty much everything that I carry now. On top of, like, whenever I am doing any kind of work on any firearms, I have a set of jeweler's glasses that I'm using, even when I'm just doing detailed cleanings. I wear those things, and it helps significantly. The anything that's going to take a long period of time, just my regular glasses don't cut it. And yeah.
So we have the one, the only Pops Quest out there. Good to see you, brother. Appreciate you being here as always. And with that, we also have Rob. Rob, what's going on, man?
Whole lot of shit. Whole lot of shit. Been working all weekend. Still technically working now. Late because I had to drain and move a hot water heater. Uh, Currently taking a break. I'll be able to stay on with you. I'm doing lighter shit after that, but I'll need a second to catch up here. As far as mice, yes, they're problems. I got a Enduro that I bought dirt cheap because a whole bunch of drunk guys couldn't get it started. Been sitting out by a lake for since last season. Ran fine when they parked it, blah blah blah. You know, I told them I can give them a hand. They got all pissy and shit, and now they know and blah blah blah. And anyway, long story short, after that all broke up, I talked to the owner. Ended up getting that bike cheap. I think it was like 400 or 600. And shit, before I left, I had it running. Unlike Scotsman, though, I did clean the carb after. You know, I shut it right down and clean the carb and everything. I actually went through the whole bike, but yeah, it was all because of mice making a mess in the airbox, grass, all that type of shit, everything. Now, to all those guys, none of them thought to check the airbox. So, you know, I'm just sitting there shaking my head. But anyway, so, you know, if they can't breathe, they can't run, but that's a whole another story. But I rode the hell out of that bike, ended up selling it for more than double my money. And I should have kept it because they went up in price. It was Yamaha, was it WT 350 or something like that.
So,
GW, I'm not
so
sure.
the question on everyone's minds are, how many salads were you able to buy by selling that?
Not many. I ended up buying something else. I was in a buying, stripping and every nut and bolt, redoing and selling phase at that point as a side gig. Made a bit of money. Quads, all types of shit. But yeah, besides that, let me try to keep catching up here. Yes, I think older vehicles are better. Yes, you should work on your vehicle if possible, but everybody isn't mechanical. So we got to understand some people, that's just not their place. If you can learn, you should, because you can save yourself a shitload of money and make money. But those people that can't, I recommend older, like 15-year-old vehicles. Less computers, all that, simpler. Everybody knows how to fix them. Everything isn't locked. That's my opinion.
I'll go a little further because I really dislike the word can't. I always try to tell people that word doesn't exist in my vocabulary. I do not like that word because you can, if you actually put your mind to it, you can pretty much do whatever the hell you want to.
You can do what you want. I'm talking about simplicity and easy use. But if
Yeah,
you're forced, people are different, man. There's some people, they do brain surgery, they pay me to hang pictures on their wall. Like, no
right.
shit.
No, and I
They
get
just they're not those people,
no, and I get
so,
that there
yeah.
are some people that have physical limitations, and I understand that. And if you have physical
Yeah.
limitations,
Plus, you
I
need
get
space
that.
for your
Your point.
tools. A lot of people don't have a big garage or space. You're in little apartments. They can't stock tools. Like, I buy it. I don't rent tools. I usually just buy them, and hopefully I'll use it again.
No, I know, man.
But
I don't
other
rent
people
tools.
aren't in that spot, though.
I don't rent tools. I buy tools. I've got so many freaking tools.
I'm lying.
I could
Sometimes I rent,
literally,
but usually I buy.
I could literally buy 2 more toolboxes and probably still not have enough room for all the fucking tools I have. I have so many freaking tools because I buy, I don't rent, and I buy because
Right. But we're talking about other people, the
over the
average
years
person.
I've done so many different jobs that. Right, but they pay for themselves. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, they do. If
It's
you're gonna keep using them, they do in the end. But anyway, those people that can't do anything besides try to get a new car because you think it's more reliable, if you must, I mean, you shouldn't. You should just smack yourself. But if you must, new used is usually better. Despite what Scotsman says, use their goddamn warranty. Let them pay for all the bullshit until it's up. Get rid of that son of a bitch. Seriously. But what you should do in place of that, because everything kind of switched. Now, if you finance, your payments are more and you kind of get screwed because you're getting it new. You lose almost at least 20% in the first year, if not as you drive it off the lot. So you're really taking a hit on vehicles. So you're better off just to finance. Your payment's going to be cheaper. And then in 3 years, you could buy it out or swap to something else. But if you were to compare that to I mean, lease, if you were to compare that to finance, you're going to pay a hell of a lot more and get stuck with a piece of shit once the warranty's up. So you're better off leasing now. You can run the numbers and check it, but I recommend, though, you get a 15-year-old car, you get a good mechanic, or learn yourself, and you'll save yourself a shitload of money.
Well,
I'll be good to go.
I will agree to disagree to a certain point because leasing works if you don't drive. But for someone like me who drives all over the country every year, yeah, leasing ain't gonna work because they limit you on how many miles you can do and don't put limits on me.
You can get more, but you got to pay more of a monthly payment.
And
you got to look into it.
I would rather just buy the fucking vehicle because then I know what's going on.
You're buying a depreciating asset that's not going to be worth the money before you pay it off.
But if you look at what I'm buying, which I don't buy vehicles that, yeah, they depreciate, obviously, like any other vehicle does.
Well,
But
anything new would be
I typically buy vehicles that hold their value. So even regardless that, yes, it's losing money, whenever I go to sell it, it's
hey,
still going to
buddy.
hold. It's still going to
Well,
hold a decent amount of value to it, and I probably won't ever sell it. I don't really plan on ever
okay.
selling it. Never did.
Well, again, this is you.
I'd
I'm
like
not
to.
trying to argue with you. I'm just giving general advice. So
No,
I
and I'm
I'd
differed
like
from your
to.
guys'
I'm,
advice, but
I'm
everybody
simply
should do their due diligence.
I'm simply explaining that if you drive a lot of miles, it's not a good idea to lease, because when you drive a lot of miles, yes, you can
You're
pay
gonna pay more.
extra. You can pay
Yep.
extra and all the rest of it, but in general, no, it's not a good idea to lease if you're going to drive a lot of miles. It's better for you to buy. You'll be better off at the end of the deal.
And like the comment there, if you can buy used, again, that's my statement, because even if you're rich, buying a brand new vehicle is a bad investment. It truly is. Like, look at the millionaires. Look what, what I mean. It's people are like Bill Gates was driving a Ford Taurus or something. I don't know, but basically, if you look it up, Google it, like the F-150, most millionaires drive an F-150, even though a million's really not a lot of money right now. But it's the whole point, like, you know, you don't have to get all crazy, especially, people with $150,000 cars. I don't know,
Well,
whatever. People
no,
do what you want to do. But
and you got to sit there and go, what's the point of $150,000 car?
yeah, they're not worth it. Like my truck,
What's the
brand
freaking
new, I
point?
think was like 20 some odd grand. So if you were to buy it today, it'd be like 100 grand or 80 grand. You know what I mean? So it's like,
I
holy
mean,
shit.
Alan, what did you spend on that BMW? What, like 5, 6?
No, actually, less than that. I paid $2,900 for it.
Right. So
Nice.
so you spent less than $3,000. You got something that you can work on, tinker around with, have fun with, and it's fun to drive. Versus going out and spending 40, 50, $60,000 on a brand new fucking car.
That you're forced to pay full coverage on, too. Keep that in mind. And another thing that nobody bring up is, even with the bullshit warranties that you got to hop through the hoops, go through stuff with, it's an inconvenience. And that's a whole nother reason, like changing your oil. Like, if you got an older car, there's no warranty to worry about. It's cheaper, easier, quicker, not necessarily cheaper. Those freaking Jiffy Lube places, they use the recycled oil and shit. So if you want anything decent, you're going to pay a little more to do it yourself, but it's done right. You're not stripping out your bolt, all that shit. And it doesn't take long.
So we have a good comment out there from Fuzz. If your vehicle is not camel proof, you're just throwing away money. So Alan, can you answer that comment?
Yeah, I would totally agree with him. Totally agree with him. If your vehicle cannot get hit by a camel, pretty much less than the first 1,000 miles, and take a licking and keep on ticking, it's not worth it. It's just not. Yeah, I speak from personal experience, people.
So with that being said, would you like to tell the people what you spent on that particular vehicle that couldn't hold up to a minor camel blow?
Oh, it held up perfectly. It held up perfectly. Now you can barely even tell now that it was struck by a rogue camel. But I bought this thing at the worst possible time that you could buy a vehicle, at the height of COVID. And believe it or not, I still got money off of MSRP, which was unheard of at the time. People were paying thousands if not tens of thousands of dollars over MSRP on vehicles. But yeah, I ended up putting out like 42 for the Cherokee that got struck by that malicious camel.
I thought you were talking about the Beamer at first. And initially, I was thinking, it wouldn't be uncommon for a used Beamer passenger seat to have a little camel indents.
How many Beamers
I mean,
have you seen in your lifetime that have been hit by camels?
I'm sure I haven't seen many, but I'm sure it happens all the time, man. All the time.
You're saying it's not uncommon, so I'm curious now.
Look, man, you
I
get these cars wrecked and sent overseas and patched back together. You'd be amazed what people do with some of these vehicles. It's literally amazing. Yeah, they wouldn't be legal here. That's why they get sold to them and they piece them back together. But there's videos out there.
People, this is what you get when you get people from New York. They just spew random ass shit.
Are you kidding me? Don't you remember that guy, that big ordeal with the Taliban driving around in some contractor's truck? Had his name and number on the side of it and shit. It was a big blown up thing. It's because, dealerships trade them in. A lot of vehicles end up overseas.
No, you're not wrong. A lot of vehicles do end up overseas, but I asked you a simple question about how many camels you've actually seen hit vehicles, because you're saying it's a very common thing, and apparently that only happens in New York because Alan, you've had it happen once. I've never had it happen, so I don't think it's a very common thing. But you're saying it's very common, so
it can be, depending on your crowd. It can be.
Well, in all actuality, if you want to check me, go ahead and open up your Google foo. But on average, about 600 collisions happen with camels and motor vehicles on an annual basis.
Boom. It happens.
All right, Alan with the Google foo. Hey, you know what? Hey, if that's true,
we know people.
Man, I wouldn't think it would be in the high, 000 digits. But hey, if it happens, it happens.
We know people that have taken cows out with tanks. I mean, come on, man. A camel? Shit.
Yeah, I wouldn't think it would be that high, but okay. It is what it is. It's that high.
Well, I mean, camels are even dumber than deer, and we strike a lot of deer here in the United States. I kind of figure it's camels are dumber than deer.
Well, deer ain't dumb. They're really not. Here's the thing with deer. So deer, I always say they're the smartest and the dumbest animal alive. But for two reasons. One, they're the smartest motherfucking animal alive because they know exactly when fucking hunting season is, because they all fucking disappear. They do. They literally fucking disappear. They know when that shit's coming and they fucking run. But they are also the dumbest motherfuckers on the planet because they'll run out in the middle of the fucking road at midnight and just randomly pop up right in front of your fucking car. Out of nowhere.
They're smart. They got a union and shit. Like you said, they know when not to be by the hunting land. They'll hang out in your backyard by the road. Just, give you the hooves on the way to work. So they got a union, and there's a deal with the insurance companies. It's squirrels, all that shit. They all got a deal. I think the insurance companies go out there and drop food off, and then these animals try to create wrecks. And, there's even commercials about it. I'm telling you. So,
okay, hold on.
Because they will literally wait until Like you
Hold on,
guys
hold
make
on.
eye contact, everything's good. You start to go, and then they want to jump out. I'm telling you, some of them are suicidal, and then
Okay,
some
hold on,
sign
hold on.
contracts because they got cancer, you know, food disease and shit. So
So,
they figure it's
so,
a good way to make money for their family.
so for the good people out there watching, you're telling me they got contracts. Where did these contracts come from?
I'm not trying to be disappeared here. I don't know. You know, it's insurance companies. Who's got all the money in this country? Banks,
No, you're not
insurance
wrong.
companies. I'm
In,
telling
in,
you, man.
insurance companies pretty much rule the world. You're not wrong.
Yeah, they want to claim an area for the government. They say endangered species. They
So what you're
contract
telling
some
me,
weird squirrels and shit in an area.
so what you're telling me is that 12-point buck that decided that it wanted to, jump out and smack the side of my truck. He was working with the insurance companies.
Yep, yep. Or straight government, because I'm sure some of them are
That
spies by
son of a
probably
bitch.
drone deer. You know,
I probably
might
what
have been
and see
videoing and everything.
now you're bringing up a whole nother thing, drone deer.
Either that, or he was chasing the best whitetail he's ever seen.
It could have been that too, but Rob brings up another point of drone deer. There could be such a thing as drone deer. Hey man,
Great way to trespass across property lines. Nobody thinks anything. Of course, they're
right?
not going to be out in season, you know, at least not out in the open. Oh, yeah,
Uh,
man.
yeah, man. No, it's dang good possibility. With that being said, folks, hey, we got someone else that joined us. We have American Hillbilly. Hillbilly, what's going on, brother?
Hey, buddy, how you guys doing? Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
I'm on my mobile where I walking the dog, so I hope it's not too windy or noisy here. But I figured I'd jump on for just a little bit. Say hi to everybody. I can't see the side chat right now, but howdy to everybody over there.
No, good to have you, man. Appreciate you being here. Yeah, we can hear you fine.
Well,
It's not too bad.
the drone deer got him interested. He's probably familiar. You know, get a new car, there ain't a scratch on it. Next thing you know, the birds are shitting on it. And the next thing you know, you're on your way to work, nice and slow, and one just runs into the side of your car and
Dude,
then takes off.
I went out today. I went to the store and I got home and emptied the truck and get back in the house and then about an hour or so later, the landlord comes over. He's wanting to shoot and whatever. I don't mind. He comes over and all that, and I walk out there and I'm helping him get set up and all the rest of it. And I walk up to my truck and I'm like, son of a fucking bitch. Fucking birds just shit everywhere, all over my fucking truck, dude. Everywhere. Like everywhere.
Yep. I mean, they're marking it so that the deer know where to go.
You talk about fucking conspiracy? Motherfucking birds, dude, shitting all in my truck. That's all right. We'll take it and get it washed this week. I was planning on it anyway.
You guys have heard of Cocaine Bear, right?
Cocaine Bear. What?
Yeah. Yeah, they made a movie about it.
Oh my god.
Oh, you haven't seen this?
No, I have not seen this. What are
All
you?
right. Well, basically, there was I don't know, somebody was flying drugs. They ended up flying over, you know, I don't know how they came up by through Florida or whatever the case is. I don't know where exactly. Basically, somewhere along the way, they ended up getting chased by a DEA plane or whatever. So they started ditching all this product. Well, apparently, you know, it was known authorities came in, searched for it. I'm getting most of this from the movie, so maybe it's off a little bit, but it's supposedly on a true story. Well, apparently this bear ended up finding a lot of these bags and like, you know, sniffing it basically, and the bear got all high and started going after people and shit. So now in the movie, of course, it killed a bunch of people and all this shit. I don't know in real life if that's true, but eventually the bear like OD'd and died. So, but there's rumor that bear was a drone.
For folks that are watching, if you didn't watch the beginning of the chat, you might want to go back and watch the beginning of the chat, because me and Alan were kind of going back and forth about some shit that might correlate to this, and it's just kind of hilarious that this came up. So yeah, go back and watch the beginning if you didn't already watch it from the beginning. But coked up fucking bears.
Believe it or not, the
Certain
cocaine
parts
bear
of the country,
story
they got the meth
is
bear.
actually based on a real story.
Bam!
Something about the middle of the 80s, and I think it ended up in like Georgia, if I remember properly.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
I
a
don't know.
bear found like a duffel bag full of fucking cocaine and got into it and ingested it in one way, shape, form, or another, and was coked out. Just you can't make the shit up. It's real.
See? It sounds crazy, but doesn't mean it's wrong.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine fighting a straight bear, more or less one that was all coked out. That just no, I not definitely nothing I want anything at all to do with. I've been too close to bear before. And the closest that I've ever had bear was on a dinner plate, and it's absolutely delicious.
I heard a story on morning radio, so I'm assuming it's true. I don't know if you can Google this too, but apparently there was a youth group for troubled teens, anger issues, all that type of stuff, and they went camping and ended up being in an area with bears. And apparently, bear ended up sticking his nose in a tent in the night or morning, whatever. And a kid there for anger issues ended up getting pissed off and started throwing down on the bear. Punched it like 2 or 3 times. People woke up. The counselors were screaming. Everybody, they were hitting the bear with the horns. And the bear ended up like jumping back and running the hell out. So I thought that was something, man. Kid wakes up and just starts throwing down on a bear. I wouldn't want to piss that kid off.
Yeah, just today, seen a video out of Russia, where a guy was like going down his stairs in the middle of the night, and he's like clearing his house, like there's somebody in his house, and out from this corner comes a bear, and he just dumps rounds onto him. As he's backing up the whole time, just dumping rounds. And the bear ends up hitting the ground. Man, I'd like to live in an area where that might be a possibility, but kind of don't want to live in an area where that might be a possibility. A bear
I've
breaking into your house in the middle of the night.
I've seen one bear out here. And it's funny. I was actually talking with my brother, my actual brother, earlier today. We got on chat and talked for a while. But I've seen one bear out here, about 200 yards up the street. Small black bear. And when I say small, I'd say probably in the range of 300, 350. You know, just a small cub. But you know, you see a bear, you see a damn bear. So yeah. But that's the only one I've seen so far out here. I've seen all kinds of things out here: coyotes, foxes, you name it. But that's the only time I've ever seen a bear was probably about 2, maybe 3 years ago. And it was a small cub, black bear cub. Yeah, I haven't had one in the backyard. This was about 200 yards away, maybe 300 yards, something like that. I've had plenty of deer in the backyard.
I did hear a story one time. Don't know if it's true or not. But they said where this place was down in Arkansas, the squirrels were getting hooked on the meth or cooking meth, and squirrels are coming in and getting some of it or some of their trash they're throwing out or something. That'd be wild.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I
Hammy.
I mean, that would put a
His
whole
movie.
that would put a whole new meaning to squirrel, wouldn't it? I mean, they already bounce off the frickin' walls and go 10 ways to Sunday, and you give them some frickin' cocaine. What do you think they're gonna do?
Yeah, I the only thing I could think that meth would affect the squirrels, it would like slow down. It'd like spin it all the way around the other direction. It just make it go all hella slow and look, sort of like Rob on weed.
I don't know. You think it would slow down? You don't think it would speed up?
I don't know if it could speed up. It's like you give an overactive kid Adderall, and basically it's just legal methamphetamine, and it speeds them up so much it slows them down.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. Yeah, I could see that. I guess I never really thought about it. I mean, who thinks about freaking giving meth to squirrels?
Well, the other day I was thinking,
It was a little crazy.
You know,
the other day I was
my
wondering
first thought when
something, and I
woke
haven't
up
been able to
morning
find the
was,
answer yet. I've been trying to figure out if you communicate with sign language with your hands, sign language, and you're missing part of a finger, does that mean you have an accent or a speech impediment?
it means you have to utilize another finger to give the finger. Speaking from experience. We get a lot of squirrels out here. I know there's some squirrel hunters out there, roll calls out there. We haven't seen roll call in a long time. Good to see you, brother. We get a lot of squirrels out here. I don't know if I'm that good at a shot. with the PCP, but we'll maybe try and hunt some squirrels here and see if what we can do. But we do get a lot of squirrels up this way. The trees are pretty high up though, so I don't know. We'll see how it goes. We can try it. Yeah, Dave. Yeah, we're talking about bears on coke and squirrels on methamphetamines, and yeah, Dave. We're going to a whole new level.
It's all Scotsman and Hillbilly's fault.
He had me out there last weekend, and we had a lot of fun, man. Obviously the reason I was there wasn't fun, but we had a lot of fun hanging out together. He was kind enough to take me in, put me up for a couple of days. Out of nowhere. It was a super kind of quick thing. So a huge thank you to him for doing that and putting me up and helping me out. But no, we had some fun, even though it wasn't a fun situation while I was there. We did have a lot of fun. We went out. We did. We played some. We went out and played some late night pool. And we also went out and shot a bunch of guns and stuff and had a lot of fun. So the good times. He and Ames were very courteous and took care of me and made sure I was fed and made sure I felt at home and all the rest of it. They were very, very good to me.
Well, man, thank you for that. But man, we sure really appreciated you. Hopefully you can come back down or we can meet up again on different circumstances. But yeah, we're sure happy to have you, buddy.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. Yeah, we'll definitely get back out there. You're not too far from Joplin, and I have a few other people out there in Joplin that I know. So definitely for sure we'll get back out there, and yeah, we'll be on better terms and not having to, have the situation that
We're gonna start walking back towards the house. So hopefully I don't lose you guys. But I'll try to jump on when we get back if I can. So you guys have a great evening.
Good seeing you, man.
Yeah,
good seeing you
Hillbilly.
guys. Eat salad with some squirrel on it.
All right, so we have Fuzz Fork out there says we need a moment for Chuck Norris. I will give you that one, brother, because Chuck was someone who I actually knew. So yes, I will absolutely 100% honor that, and yes, we will give a Chuck a moment of silence for everyone out there. If you didn't know Chuck was an incredible person, fantastic martial artist. Did many different films and TV shows over the years. I was on Hillbilly Show last night, and I showed a T-shirt that I got that actually belonged to Chuck and came from Chuck. And we're probably going to go ahead and put that in a picture frame and mount it up somewhere because I don't want to wear it anymore. I think it needs to go in a picture frame. So we're going to put it in a picture frame and hang it up somewhere. But that came from Chuck, and I'm honored to have it. Chuck was a phenomenal guy. So, yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll take a moment of silence. So, people, if you would, please, let's have a moment of silence for Chuck. All right. Thank you, everybody. We appreciate that. It's good to honor Chuck. Chuck was, again, phenomenal person, fantastic martial artist, great actor, and did so many different things for people all over the world. Did a lot for charity, did all kinds of different things, and just an incredible person. And there's tons and tons and tons of Chuckisms. We talked about this on Hillbillies Chat last night, but we did tons and tons of Chuckisms. And, you know, there's all one of the ones out there that's probably one of the better ones is, you know, Chuck didn't die. He just took over for the Grim Reaper. So just bear that in mind, folks. When the Grim Reaper comes for you, you're probably going to see Chuck.
So I have a Chuck Norris story. Back in the day, I was a garbage man, and I used to stop at this hole in the wall mom and pop burger shack in Northern California that was literally kind of in the middle of nowhere. It was a hop off the highway. You almost had to know it was there to be able to pull up to the place. And before I left there one day, I stopped in, got my normal order, and as I was getting ready to leave, this school bus shows up. And what it was a girls' softball team. Well, it was a girls' softball team that had Chuck Norris as their coach. Just one of the things that he did on the side was he sponsored a girls softball league. He spent his own time coaching. No profit in it at all for him, anything else. And they just happened to stop at this burger shack. I was kind of surprised at how short he was. But
Yeah, I think he's.
I shook the man's hand in person.
If I remember right, I think he's like 5'6", 5'5".
Yeah. It wasn't a tall guy, but I had the opportunity to shake the man's hand, and then I let him about his business. I went out to my truck and just watched, and just because he could, and that's what he wanted to do. He was literally just a coach for a girls softball league and absolutely phenomenal. Just an excellent way to spend your free time when you're Chuck fucking Norris. But you know, he's taking time out of his life and just coaching a girls softball team and completely sponsored them and everything else. It was I got more of the story later on by the people that own the burger shack later on. They stop in there about every couple of months or something, especially during ball season, and it's just something that he had done for years.
Yeah, Chuck was a different kind of guy, man. You know, he did stuff like that, and there's tons and tons of stories out there of him doing different things for different organizations and things like softball teams, like you're talking about. You know, there's tons and tons of them. The guy just was all about making things happen for people and seeing other people's dreams happen. He was not someone who would sit back and ever say no. He was someone who would sit there and go, we're going to make it happen one way or another. That was Chuck, dude. And that was him through and through. You got to shake his hand. I never got to shake his hand. I have a T-shirt that came from Chuck, but I never got to shake the man's hand. I've met some other martial arts legends in my life, and actually trained under some other martial arts legends in my life, but I never got to meet Chuck. I wish I would have met Chuck.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was quite literally in passing. He was he was letting all the girls in, and then he kept holding the door for me to go. I'm just like, thank you very much, Mr. Norris, and shook his hand, and I walked out the door. I was letting him do his business, man. But yeah, wow. I couldn't just get in my truck and drive away. I was just like, I just met Chuck fucking Norris. What the fuck?
You just go speechless, right? You don't know what to do. I get it, man. I get it. Like I get it. So one of the ones that I met and trained with years ago, specifically because and you know, this is one thing that I hate about being tall is, and you'll see this anytime you get in martial arts or anywhere around kind of martial arts, you'll see this where if you're tall, your teacher's going to want you to just kick to the head, kick to the head, kick to the head. They want you to throw that freaking high kick constantly. And I have a dreaded fucking hatred for kicking to the head. Because if I ever get in the fucking fight, trust me, I'm not kicking you in the head. I'm kicking you in the fucking shin. I'm kicking you in the knee. I'm kicking you in the balls. I'm not kicking you in the fucking head. I'm smarter than that. I'm not kicking high. I'm kicking low. But anyway, I met the man, the myth, the legend, Bill Superfoot Wallace, and I actually got to spend a few hours training with Bill Superfoot Wallace, and he was teaching me how to fucking kick. And you talk about something where you're just sitting there kind of in awe of, okay, this guy's fucking telling me what to do, and this guy's been fucking kicking since he was like fucking 30 years younger than me. Like, what the fuck's going on right now? Yeah, no, it was surreal. It was unreal. And yeah, you get someone like that around you, dude. It's pretty freaking cool. Guy's fucking phenomenal. I mean, he's up there just like Chuck, man. He's up there. He's in his late 70s now, I think, early 80s. And he's still fucking throwing it just like Chuck was. But incredible. Absolutely freaking incredible. I mean, the guy still will throw a wrong kick to the fucking head like nothing. I mean, nothing. And like, you know, I got all kinds of issues going on, whatever, but yeah, it's like fucking butter to that guy, like butter. He just throws it up like it's nothing, dude. And I'm sitting here going, holy fuck, ow, 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 holy fuck me. Yeah. And meanwhile, this guy's like, whew. Yeah, straight butter. These guys are legends. These guys are people that have put the time, the effort in, and the dedication. And that's, I would say that's one of the biggest things that people lack, especially when it comes to that kind of thing. as far as martial arts is dedication. Dedication is probably the toughest thing that comes down to for people. So many people fail, walk away just because they don't want to put the time and the effort in. And you have to put the time and the effort in. If you do, you're going to feel better. You're going to be better. You're going to be a lot better off. All right. So one thing that I have noticed, and we've been seeing this for a while now, is the number of people watching has kind of dropped dramatically. And this has been going on now for a little while. What do you guys want to hear? What do you guys want to talk about? What do you want to see? You got to let us know, because we've lost some viewership over the last few years, and there's some reasons for that, and I get it. It is what it is, but let us know what you guys kind of want to see, what you want us to talk about. Don't think that you're not a part of the show, because you guys are the show. You guys make the show, so we want to hear from you, because we come out here and we talk about things that we want to talk about, but we want to hear from you guys too, and we want to talk about what you guys want to hear about. So let us know what's going on with you, or what's on your mind, your thoughts, your concerns. You got issues going on with the Second Amendment, whatever it may be in your state. Let us know, and we'll bring it up. We'll talk about it. We want to make sure you guys are involved, because you guys really do make the show. And that's why we keep doing this show. We've been going on for 11 years almost now. And it's all because of folks like you out there that tune in every week and watch and support us. So you gotta let us know what you want to hear about, talk about, and we'll make sure we bring it up.
Yeah, we've been compared to discussing the plots of Gilligan's Island before. We have quite frequently, we'll go off all kinds of different paths and different subjects and topics, and ultimately we know that a lot of this is encircled around the gun community, and we also inherited the slot from mostly a political show before, and so we do integrate some normal political into the shows because of that as well. But that's also just kind of what we talk about on a regular daily basis. We've never Scotsman's never set an itinerary of what we're going to be talking about, when we're going to be talking about it, or how. It's just not really part of the cards. It's a lot more natural
we've
without it.
We've been doing this almost 11 years, and it's crazy. It's crazy to think that, but it's been almost 11 years, people. And it's thanks to you guys out there. It's thanks to Alan. Alan jumped in with me, and out of nowhere we came up with foreign and domestic, and then out of nowhere TR Prepper said, "Hey, I want to get rid of this slot," and we said, "Hey, we'll take it." and we were honored to take that slot and take that name. And this is why we still have the same name to this day. It is the Sunday Night Roundtable for a reason, because TR had that, and that's what we will continue on. Will always continue on is the Sunday Night Roundtable. TR did put out a video here not too long ago. So if you haven't seen that, make sure you go check out TR's video. But TR Prepper, good brother, farmer. If you're not someone who was around at the time of being a farmer, then you don't know. But if you know, you know. We farmers are few and far between at this point. But I'm proud to be a member of the farmer community, and glad to know the people that I know, proud of the people that I've met and got to shop with and hang out with. And they helped build this, what we have now. So, big shout out to them. Big shout out to all the people out there. Again, it's just incredible what we have, what we've had going on. And yeah, man, it's been a lot of years. We've had some ups and downs. We've had a lot of stuff go on. Last couple of years, obviously, I've been dealing with some medical stuff and all the rest of it, and haven't been able to be on as much as I want to be or do as many things as I want to do. But we're getting better. Things are better, and you'll see a lot more coming from us. We're working on the Pop Goes the Weasel channel. If you guys haven't already gone over to Pop Goes the Weasel, please jump over to that channel. I do have videos coming. There's a lot more stuff coming that way. I got a package in the mail from Batjack JW. You'll see a video on what I got from him. I have one other thing I got to buy, and then I'm ready to go and do cowboy action. And that one other thing I got to buy is a shotgun. So I know the shotgun I want. I have it sitting in my cart. I just got to have the money to buy it. And then we'll be all set for cowboy action. And then you'll see videos over there of me doing cowboy action. So look out for that stuff. And I'm trying to figure out what day I want to do a weekly video on and what I want to call it. And if you guys have suggestions, let me know. I'm trying to think of something. I don't know. I want something that's catchy. We got Waller out there. He's got, What Cutter Wednesday, and he's got, he's got his Saturday thing he does, and we got a few other people out there that have all these different ones. They already got these catchy names for. If you guys have a catchy name for something and a specific day you'd like to see a video on, let me know.
Hey, as long as you don't call it this week's release, I don't think anybody wants to see that. But Thorzak's definitely has a point. Thorzak's definitely has a point. I mean, across YouTube in general, gun community has been very, very fractionalized.
Dude, it's
you see a ton and a half specifically nowadays. It was present when we started the show, when you saw the shills.
I would say
the people that were just selling out for anything under the sun. And now you have like these super gun tubers and shills. There's very few real people still out there.
In the last 3-4 years, we have seen a dramatic decrease in numbers, and it is what it is. But the dramatic decrease is because of some of these channels, like he's talking about, were show channels, and I'm not gonna throw names out there. I'm not gonna be that guy. But there are some channels out there, and there are some people that I know who I greatly respect, um, who do have channels that are basically a shield channel, and they do nothing but basically make YouTube their job. Um, I'm not mad at people for getting out there and making YouTube their job. I would rather, if you want to do that, to do it in an honorable fashion and not just go out and show for whatever fucking brand will show up and give you something. That's just me. Personally, if I had and I've had lots of companies approach me over the years, and I've turned them all down. If it was me, I would rather that company wanted me to do something that was honest and show it honestly, and then presenting that to you guys, and you guys see an honest review versus what we see from a lot of these guys, like Alan said, essentially are basically a shield channel. Everything they get is fucking fantastic, and it's so great, and this, that, the other, and all this other bullshit. You're not gonna get that from me. You're not gonna get that from Alan. You guys have seen plenty times over. Hell, I've had companies. Hell, that one company that sent me the light, they bitched and whined and fucking cried because I posted a video saying your fucking light's a piece of shit. I don't care. Like, seriously, I posted it for a fucking reason. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to people. And they tried to offer me, what was it, 3% or 4% commission to take that video down and put up another video making it better. And I'm like, fuck you. No, hell no. Like, what the fuck you think I am? 3 fucking percent? Fuck you. You want to buy me off, but don't fucking buy me for fucking 3%. I'm not a bitch. Like, come on. You want to pay me, pay me.
Yeah, there was, I mean, there's very valid reasons in my personal life why I don't really turn out videos. My life changed significantly quite a number of years ago, and the amount of free time that I have away from real life is very, very limited. So I just can't get out and do the videos like I was doing, even though nothing was big. Nothing. I am not a popular name, thank goodness. But just can't get out there and turn out the videos, even the way that I was doing. Would I like to? Sure, I'd love to, because I absolutely love the actual community that we have here. There is still a bloodline community. There is still a hardcore community with that's entrenched still in YouTube. And you know, I'd like to be able to do more in the way of videos. I even like the hate comments. They're funny to me.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. I had a guy comment on my last video about my good brother that passed away, took his life, and basically turned around and said, that's the That's the coward's way out. And basically said that this isn't something that should be posted on YouTube and all the rest of it. And I was polite and I told him straight up, I'm like, that's your opinion. You're welcome to your opinion. And I told him, yeah, you're welcome to it and have your opinion. That's fine, whatever. But you also need to understand that I'm honoring my brother. So whether you like it or don't like it, I don't give a fuck. You can sit there and tell me that this is not something that's valid for YouTube all you want, but end of the day, I'm honoring someone who, to me, was family. So you can sit there and cry about it and bitch about it all you want, but like we've done in many, many times in the past, and we continue to do over the years, we honor those people that we've lost. We honor Mr. Holster. We honor Ed. We honor many other people. We've lost so many over the years. We lost Willie. It's just incredible. But we sit there and we honor those people. So don't, I never expected it from someone who's been with us for so many years on the channel, but the guy just turned around and literally just, is being a fucking bitch about it. But hey, you want to be that guy? Be that guy. That's fine. You do you, but don't expect me to sit here and tell you it's okay. Like, you're welcome to your opinion, but you want to fucking cuss me out or call me this or that because I'm honoring someone who I consider family? Fuck you. Fuck you. And I'll tell you that all day long. Fuck you.
So recently, SIG got a really, really bad name for quite a while now with the 365 or the 320. But the 365, a lot of people have still raved about. To say that a 365 is not my daily carry would be a lie. So in one of the latest releases is the 365, what is the damn thing? DH3 AXG. So it's a metal frame rather than a polymer frame. And how they've squeezed a 21 round magazine into this thing, I am just kind of oogling and ogling. I may end up having to replace my current 365 and go pick me up a DH3. Comped barrel, everything else. I'm kind of salivating.
I will say this. When it comes to getting as many rounds as possible in a magazine, SIG is probably up there. I don't know what the hell they do and how they do it, but somehow or other, SIG is probably one of the top companies for getting as many rounds as a fucking magazine as they can.
Well, one of the things that kind of stops me, of course, I don't like to buy the first models of anything ever. I like to give it a little bit of time. And I did that with the 320 and it still bit me in the ass, even though now I've got like 8 of them. But this new, one of the things that holds me back a little bit is a good holster, of course, because I plan on carrying and I absolutely have to have a good holster. And nowadays I'm carrying with optic and I'm carrying with light. So I gotta have something that's light bearing as well. The TRL sevens, what is it? The sevens, right? Or the micro sevens,
Yeah.
or the TRL sub sevens, are the light of choice that I've gone with for quite some time. I haven't had a single issue with them. I've beat them around. They're great lights. And I'd say worth the money. But for some reason, when I say stuff like that, YouTube goes, "Oh, you're trying to sell it." No, I'm not trying to sell it. I'm just telling you my experience with it.
No, if you guys are looking for any kind of light, I will tell you this. I've used Streamlight for the last 15, 16 years, somewhere in there. And I had a small pocket light, and I had it for probably 6, 7 years. And I dropped it in a fucking tank at work. And it was a decent sized tank. You're not dipping your hand in there to pick it up. And it's a chemical tank. So again, you ain't putting your hand in there to pick it up. This thing stayed on for 4 fucking days in a chemical tank of water. If you don't, if you need any other proof that Streamlight fucking works, I don't know what else to tell you. The fucking shit works. It stayed on in the fucking chemical tank of water for 4 fucking days. Yeah, the shit works.
And you should have stuck your hand in there and got it, man. You got another hand.
It's a $30 light. I'm not wasting my hand for $30 light. I'll just go buy another one. But yeah, no, Streamlight is worth the money. Go buy Streamlight all fucking day long.
Yeah, I had this in my pocket. Yeah, Ozzy, it's definitely gonna end up having to be something Kydex. It's not like I'm trying to carry the Anaconda.
Well, no, you just need to give the Anaconda to me. I'll take good care of that for you.
I know you'll keep it well fed. But no, it's okay where it lives at the moment.
Well, whenever you decide that you're not able to keep pulling that trigger, you just let me know, and I'll take care of it. I will happily pull the trigger daily for you to make sure it's well fed.
There, that's one thing, is there is already Kydex out there, specifically for that particular model of the 365, and it's getting even more tempting to me. I do like the Legion version. I've got hands on the Legion version, dig it. But I don't really subscribe totally to the whole Legion thing. A lot of guys do, and there's good reason. They pay a little bit more attention to it, I guess. I don't exactly know what SIG does there. But with the AXG frame and a comped barrel, that thing's probably bound to shoot like a dang 22.
So I've shot a lot of your SIGs over the last few years. I shot regular SIG, we'll just call them regular SIGs, and then I shot Legions too. I don't see a major difference. I really don't. And that may piss some people off out there, but I really don't see a major difference. You know, I've shot some of the finest guns around, and when I say some of the finest guns around, I'm talking, you know, old school 29s, you know, triggers that will blow your fucking mind away. I've shot, you know, the finest CZs, you know, half pound triggers, 3/4 pound triggers, whatever it may be. I've shot them. I'm not impressed with SIG and the Legion and trying to say there's a difference. I really don't see a difference. Am I impressed with SIG in general? Yeah. Allen's got that 110 millimeter. I forget the model. Allen, what's that one that you have?
Yeah, that's the X10.
Okay, the X10. Yeah. So I shot the X10. And out of all the SIGs I've ever shot, and I've shot a lot of SIGs in my life, I was very, very, very impressed with that. And I'll tell you, I've seen Allen shoot all kinds of pistols, rifles, revolvers over the years. Allen can shoot. And he picked up this SIG X10, and he hadn't done a whole lot with it yet. Picked that up, shot it, and he was right on target right off the rip. Had it to me, I shot it, and you know, it took me a second to get kind of dialed in, get a feel for the trigger. But I was impressed with it. It's a nice trigger, it's a nice gun. You know, but SIG kind of like Colt and some of these other companies out there that charge a premium, throwing a name out there that doesn't need to be thrown out there. You know, they're adding this extra shit on there that's really not extra. You know, I've shot a lot of Colts, and to be honest with you, do I like Colt? Yeah, I like Colt, but I'd rather have a Smith. The triggers are better, they feel better, they're smoother. Just everything in general, they just feel better in the hand. I will say that the newer Colts are pretty freaking nice. I have shot Allen's new Colt. We went out and we shot some 310 grain loads. And I may have, you know, went a little overboard and shot half a box and should have probably stopped prior to that. But, you know, I got away from myself because I was having fun. But yeah, no, it was smooth. It was smooth, and I was really liking it. Super freaking accurate. You know, I know what Allen paid for that box of ammunition, and I'm sitting there going, I gotta stop. But then I just kept wanting to pull the trigger, you know. Sometimes that gets away from you, folks. Sometimes
it could have burned it all up for all I care. It didn't matter.
No, but to me it does. But you know. But no, it was fun. And the new Colts, in my opinion, I would say the newer Colt, especially that one, the trigger is better than some of the old ones. Is it better than an old Smith? No. I'm going to tell you straight up, no. It's not better than an old Smith, but it is better than some of the old Colts that I've shot. And it's a very nice gun, and it was a pleasure to shoot. And would I buy one? Yeah, I would. Would I pay the astronomical prices they're asking for? No. I would wait till I find it somewhere on sale or can get a deal on it somewhere. But And I've been looking here and there. I'm not gonna lie.
Well,
I've
and
been looking.
that was the case, actually. That's how I came up with that Anaconda. Is I actually went to go get a Smith and Wesson 500. I actually was at the store to pick up a 500, and the guy's like, "Hey, what do you think of 44?" I'm like, "Love it. Why?" He's like, "Well, I got this, and uh, I've got it on pretty cheap because it's got a minor blemish on it, and it's minor. You know, you have to have somebody that's well experienced in looking at firearms to even find it, really. But it is one little tiny nick on it, and I saved a chunk of money. I ended up walking out the door with the Anaconda, not the 500.
No, no, and dude, that was a pleasure to shoot. You know, we went to the store and we were looking at ammo, and we found some 9mm on sale, and we found some 223 on sale, and we're like, oh shit, we're gonna grab all of this, and we're looking at the 44, and I'm like, damn, dude, you know, that's up there. Like, I mean, it's not terrible, but it's up there. And you know, Alan grabbed it anyway, and we get out to the range and we start shooting and doing this and doing that, and I grab the Anaconda and I load up a cylinder, and boom, 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 ting, 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 ting. And it's like, shit, I got to shoot this again. And I grab more and I load it up again. Ting, 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 boom, boom, boom. Oh, fuck, this is good. Ah, and I go back for round 3. I think I shot like 5 or 6 cylinders, and I'm like, dude, I got to stop.
Yeah,
It was
that
good.
thing is it is a pleasure to shoot for um it is. It is a nice handling pistol. The weight
No,
of it is
it's
perfect.
so if you haven't ever checked out the video, I do have a Model 29 that's in stainless. And yes, it is stainless. Even though there are people out there that go in the comments and say, "Oh, that's not stainless, never did it," blah blah blah, whatever. No, it is stainless. It's verified by Jim. If you don't know who Jim is the historian for Smith and Wesson. And yes, he verified it is done by Smith and Wesson. And it is stainless. Um, that thing is butter. I mean, fucking butter to shoot. And shooting this Colt, it was close. It wasn't quite there, but it was pretty dang freaking close. It was smooth. Um, I was loving it, man. When you're shooting a 310 grain freaking bullet and it's smooth as butter, yeah, you're having fun, man. I was loving it.
Now, one of the companies that has had a hard time, um, in my opinion, since they came out, um, they're one of the ones that have one of the newest revolvers on the market, and that would be Diamondback. Um, they've got like this all aluminum revolver now. And I don't know much at all about it. Anybody, it's like similar in spec, I guess, to a 686. Um,
Um,
but I could be way off base there.
no, so Diamondback is essentially based off of Taurus. Um, and if you guys know or have done any kind of research, Taurus basically ended up using a lot of Smith and Wesson molds and designs. But Diamondback is basically essentially based off of what they were doing. Diamondback has been hit and miss over the years. They've had some really good guns, and they've had some really, really bad ones. They're one of the ones that I would sit there and say, if you're considering it, I'm going to tell you to wait at least a year. I always typically say wait 6 months to a year before you go out and buy whatever you're interested in that's brand new coming out. This is one of the companies I'd say exactly that. Wait, let it get through the first 6 months to a year, and then go buy it. Let them work through the kinks. That definitely one that I would say work through the kinks. There's a lot of companies out there, and we're seeing more and more companies pop up. We got G-Force Arms. They've been doing a lot of lever actions and stuff. And I bought one from them 6 months ago or so. You guys will see a video on that. I was not happy or impressed with their customer service. And that video is going to be coming out again on the Weasel channel. Go check the Weasel channel if you haven't been over there. But yeah, we'll get that video out and kind of let you guys know. But I'm going to tell you straight up, stay clear of that company. G-Force Arms, fucking horrible. Don't touch them with a barge pole. Diamondback's not bad. Again, one of those where I'd sit and wait 6 months to a year before you actually go and buy one, and let them kind of work through some of the kinks, and wait and see if there's any recalls. That's another reason that you wait. You wait to see if they recall it for some reason or other. So that whole 6 months to a year isn't simply just because you want to wait and make sure there's no issues. You want to make sure that they don't end up coming up with a recall on it for whatever reason. It's a good practice, especially with something like revolvers. Revolvers are a very finicky thing. So typically it's a good practice just to wait, sit back and wait and take your time. Hammer fired pistols, same kind of thing. Sit back, kind of wait. Striker fire pistols, they're finicky, but they're not as finicky. But typically, just in general, just as a basic rule, I've always said wait at least 6 months before you buy something. Kind of let them work through some of the kinks and see what's going on with it. It's not always the most popular opinion, but I've been in this industry for almost 25 years. No, sorry, not 25 years. What are we going on? We're going on what? 16? Yeah, 16. 16 years. A long time. So, I've seen a lot of shit in those years. So take it for what it's worth. It's seen a lot of different things come and go, and dealt with a lot of different people and a lot of different issues and a lot of companies. So take it for what it's worth.
I apologize for being so quiet. A little winded at the moment, but basically, been working, like I said, so didn't want to cut in here or there. So hopefully the show does get some more attendance. I think when you were drinking and rowdy, maybe you had some more people in here, but not necessarily for the right reasons. So who knows, and that's probably not the best, MO to have online. So yeah, I understand switching that up. So hopefully, whatever happens, or people respond to your, call for action to let us know or let you know. So, because it would
Yeah,
be cool.
no, you know, it's no secret. A few years back we had someone come here that I had taken some investment in, if you would, per se. I made a promise to someone's father and brought them here and was trying to help them, take care of them. And unfortunately, not long after they got here, they turned a lot of people away for whatever fucking reason. I don't know. But a lot of people got turned away. A lot of people disappeared and stuff like that. And, we're just trying to get back on track, get focused on things we do and we talk about. And again, it's your guys' show. So you got to let us know what you want to talk about, what you want to hear about. And we'll bring it up. If there's people you want to see on here, let us know who you want to see on here, and we'll definitely try and get people on here. I'm always happy to invite people and bring other people on the show. So just let me know, and we'll do what we can to make it happen. But
I'm just curious, who's that nickname for, Thorzax?
Little cream cheese. Wait, what? Oh shit.
Oh goodness. Yeah, I mean, the show used to be absolutely rampant, just completely off the rails. I understand that was significantly more entertaining. And unfortunately, YouTube has kind of put a kibosh on a lot of that. They put a kibosh on a lot of the things that we used to do in the early days that we just literally can't do now.
Right.
And so we've still held on to a couple of traditions. There's very, very specific things. And yes, absolutely. That being one of them, that absolutely being one of them. We just can't do it anymore. And it's like they watched one of our shows and said, okay, let's not let this happen or this happen or this happen or this happen.
One of the things and I've even had people put in the comments before, and I've even had people reach out and message me, is trying to tell me that we shouldn't do the Pledge of Allegiance. Well, I'm sorry, not sorry, and I'm gonna tell you straight up, I'm not fucking sorry. I didn't come to this country and fight to be a citizen to turn around and not say the fucking Pledge of Allegiance. And I didn't come here and come on YouTube to be this magical fucking celebrity or do this or do that. I came on here to show my nephews back home what their crazy ass uncle's doing. And their crazy ass uncle is someone who will stand for what he believes in. And we believe in freedom. And where I come from, you don't hide that. So one of the things, exactly like Alan was saying, one of the things that we absolutely will never stop doing, and I mean never, ever, I don't give a flying fuck who tells me to stop. We will never, ever stop the Pledge of Allegiance. There is nothing that makes me more fucking proud every single week than Allen playing that and hearing those kids saying the Pledge of Allegiance. I get tingling going up my body because of that. I love it. I want more of it every damn freaking week. And if you don't like it, you are more than welcome to go shove it up your rear freaking ass and disappear. Because I'm not going to stand here and take any shit from anyone who tells me don't say the Pledge of Allegiance. You can all kiss my ass.
Plus, I mean, you did take time and learn about America and the country and strive to become an American. So, and that's something that you achieved. And so, it's sad to say that maybe you appreciate it a little bit more than natural born.
To me, it's an honor, man. It's an honor. And that's what people need to understand. It's not, we're not just saying words. Like these words mean something. When I stood there and I took the pledge, it was my proudest moment to stand there and say, I'm going to defend against all enemies, foreign and domestic. We call this show Foreign and Domestic for a fucking reason. The day that I turned around and I sent Alan that text and said, hey, man, what do you think about calling the show Foreign and Domestic? What'd you say, Alan?
I think I said that's absolutely perfect.
Yep. Absolutely perfect. And it's been that ever since and will forever be so. And we will forever do the Pledge of Allegiance.
Yeah, exactly. You used to be able to talk about what it actually meant and what it actually said. And it's to me rather pathetic that a lot of people don't even know what it says. More or less what it means.
It's sad, man. So many people don't know the history. And we got folks out there, Walter, Dorzax, Ed, kind of talking about what it means. And the sad thing is folks like myself know more than actual Americans. And I don't mean that as a dig to an American. I'm just telling you straight up. It's because we go and do our research because we have to do our research. We have to know what we're talking about when we walk in that room. And it's sad. It's really fucking sad. But most Americans don't understand their own fucking history or their own culture.
Well, it looks like we're about getting to that time.
Yep. Yeah, definitely. We'll definitely start going through the room. Just so folks know, I'll give you guys kind of a little bit of an update. I haven't really done an update in a while. Medically wise, things are a lot better, doing a lot better, feeling better. I still have some good days and bad days. Still have some things going on here and there. We are switching jobs at work starting tomorrow. So hopefully that will help some. We are switching shifts, which I'm not super excited about, but that's okay. We'll get through it. We'll figure it out. So we'll get through all that stuff, but you will guys, you'll see a lot more videos coming out, stuff's coming here and there. working on trying to get some stuff cleaned up around the house, and then we'll get some more videos going. Whenever you do see videos, please go out there and share them with people, let people know. And if you have a channel, it is appreciated when you guys do shout outs, stuff like that. It does help big time. You guys know YouTube is not our friend, and likes to hate on us. They hate this channel. Absolutely 110%. They've been removing videos left, right, and center. Typically why we only do live streams over here and we post videos on the other channel. So whenever you can, if you're able to, if you do have a YouTube channel, go ahead and share the other channel. It is appreciated, and you guys will see more stuff coming that way. With that being said, we will start going through the room. Rob, what you got going on, brother?
Not a whole lot. So again, apologize for not saying much. I'm about to be done working in probably 30 minutes. So tough day. Definitely tough day. But sometimes this is what you get, you know, America. You gotta get off your ass and get shit done sometimes. So but anyway, I apologize again. And normally this is a great show. Well, even today was pretty good, except for my silent ass. But you know, have beamers, camel toes. I mean, how do you go wrong? But thanks for joining us. It's always fun. Appreciate it. Appreciate the side chat. I can't see it. Normally don't. I don't think I ignore it. I occasionally go back, check comments, flip me the bird here or there. It's all good. Yeah, eat a salad, stay cool. Don't be a pussy. We'll catch you next time.
Awesome. Always appreciate you being here with us, brother. Appreciate you being here even though you're working. So thank you, man. Yeah, no, it was a good chat. You know, we didn't have too many guests on today, but always appreciate the people that can be here. Always appreciate everyone out in the side chat. Edward's out there. He put the Pledge of Allegiance up. Edward, we love you, brother. Appreciate you, brother. Absolutely phenomenal. Something, again, that will always be on this channel, whether you like it or don't. And take that for what it's worth. With that being said, Alan, will you please take us out right the way that YouTube hates us?
YouTube does not like us in any way, shape, or form, but it is what it is. And we're still here after so many years. But man, and so are you. Greatly appreciate everybody that shows up. And like Scotsman said a number of times, you guys are the show. Feed us. Yeah, we used to be a little nutty, a little crazy, and that's kind of mellowed out, but we like the food that you feed us for the conversation. Absolutely love everybody out there. Do me a favor though, keep them magazines loaded and one in the chamber. Woo!